I spend a lot of time in hotels. I travel a lot, and for work, I'm visiting companies all around the world. And so my hotel stays have become like a normal part of my life. And I know the hotels I like, and I know what I want. I'm looking for a specific setup. It doesn't have to be fancy, but there are certain things I expect. So now I want to talk about the role of AI and how that's changing how hospitality is being done in hotels around the world. This is Connect the Dots, the AI Impact Podcast. I'm Christoph Burkhardt. Welcome to the show. If you look at hotels, the first thing you notice, let's say that the booking process that's mostly digitized. So that's something that we can do online. But now it's a physical experience when you walk into the hotel. Now, one of the interesting points, the first touch point of the hotel staff and the guest is the moment of check-in. And checking in into a hotel it's a funny situation because, of course, technologically, you would not need to check in. And of course, there are hotels that are trying that, and there are apps that you can use to open your door for your room, so you don't need to check in, get a key card. Some hotels have terminals there. You talk to a screen, you type in your information, and you get the key card there. In many cases, you don't need a key card anymore. And then, of course, there are hotels that have a tablet on the reception, basically, and you use the tablet while there are also people who could help you. There's staff. And now, so the interesting thing is there's obviously transformation happening. And right now, and this brings me to something way larger, the driver for what kind of technology you use, the objective behind it, to use AI in these situations, or lower tech. Right now, we're just looking at lower tech. But of course, AI could look at you while you walk into the hotel, look you up online, figure out based on your face who you are, why you're here, what your booking is, what your address is, all the information that could be in a CRM for the person to talk to you or for the machine to talk to you. All these information could be there if AI was in the room and was just looking at you. So there's potential to make things better. But the main objective right now, and I see this with many clients in many industries, is to cut cost and to automate for efficiency. And now if you do this, and this is your main driver, then of course you end up with use cases in which you reduce the amount of time that a human being spends serving a customer or a guest in this case, right? So if you only need one person at the reception instead of three, because there are terminals, you can check in your own, so the machine answers most of your question. If you use a chatbot in the area, in the lobby of the hotel where people can ask that question and the machine answers most of these questions, are always the same. So of course this works. But the problem here is if you replace the human being in the lobby, the human I want to talk to, and you replace it with the machine better be as good as the human was. And in many cases, that's just not the case. So if I check in, and I just had that last week, I walk in and there are two terminals, and I walk to the terminal because I don't see anyone at the reception. They're all in the back room. So I walk up to the machine, and the machine asks me to type in on a really large screen, but no real keyboard, type in my entire US address and email address and information, because apparently the system is not smart enough to pull any information from my booking that obviously was done and delivered. So they had a booking. And so I stop using the terminal and I go over to the reception and I want to talk to the person. The person checks me in and I don't have to add my address anywhere. So I know it's in the system. The terminal's just too dumb to pull this information. Now, this is one part where you see, like, yes, the idea to use a machine in this case to help wasn't bad, but the execution was so bad that my experience as a customer and as a guest in this hotel does not match the level of luxury that this hotel tries to present to me everywhere else, right? So this was an expensive hotel, and I know what I pay. And so don't send me to a terminal that's too dumb to pull up information that obviously your staff can pull up within seconds. So now, sometimes you see the problem as that the interaction between the guest and the hotel is something so crucial for the experience of the entire stay that it is almost reckless to put a machine there that tries to do the job but doesn't reach the level of the human. And the humans don't do more to increase the experience while the machine automates the stuff away that we don't want. But instead, what's happening is that the machine is not really good at automating everything that we need. It's not smart enough to give all the information, pull all the data. And the humans, they get automated away. So we have fewer people working there. And those people probably have more admin stuff to do than they should. And so what I want to see is take the machine to help your staff augment your own staff. I want to walk up to the reception, talk to a person that uses a smart machine that has pulled up all the information they need. And this is still, we are far away from a world in which hotels have figured this out. And that's not only true for hotels, this is true for many, many situations. The touch point with the human being. If you buy something that has value, a luxury item like a hotel night, I don't know how much this was, like $400 a night. So you buy this, you have certain expectations, and those expectations, they show up whenever people buy something. And now these expectations are also about the experience that you have when you interact with the company. Now, if you take this interaction between me as the customer and the company, and you put a machine there to replace this interaction, this machine has to be absolutely amazing to make this work. And we're not at the level where these machines can be at that level. And don't get me wrong, there are situations when I walk into a hotel and I do not want to talk to a human being. If it's like after midnight and I just want to get to my room, I'm happy if there's an app that opens my door and I don't have to talk to anyone. I don't have to check in or anything. But in many cases, people need options. And you can't just replace humans with machines and think that this cuts cost and does not lead to backlash along the way because the experience suffers. And this happens in many, many industries right now where you see companies using chatbots to replace what is the most crucial moment of a business to create trust and loyalty with a customer is the moment of the first interaction that you can have with them. So if you replace that with a machine, you lose out on core value and your core opportunity to convince a customer to come back the next time. And that's something we should not do. And this brings me to AI strategy. And this is why you need a strategy that gives you an idea and a framework of what you want to do, why you want to do it, and why you think this is a case that will create long-term results for your business because you're working at the core value that you're delivering. And in a hotel, the core value has to do with experience. So yes, many AI strategies that hotels will use have to incorporate making the experience of the guest better. And you do not do that by just putting chatbots out there. That's not increasing the experience. The experience has to become better because things are faster, they're more convenient, and they're more human. And this is something that needs a strategy. And I see way too many companies running towards generative AI, chatbots, and simple solutions that they use just because they're there, not because there's a strategy and there's a reason for using them. It's just, okay, this makes sense right now. We can cut costs and it's efficient. Not seeing that you build massive problems down the road. And this is my word of warning for today. Be careful and be strategic about where you want to see AI. And don't think that replacing a human being in an interactive moment with a customer is a good idea. I think this is very risky. And in most cases, I would not recommend it.